Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Luka Jovic card to review today. It's a new SBC card. He won over the Ryan Kent card, so let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. But with Luka Jovic, guys, we did end up using his Moments card during that time, and the only thing that I felt was a little bit off with the card was the dribbling, obviously, because of the body type that he has as well as the height that he has. But he was still really fun to use. The problem with that card is that he required a Hunter chemistry style, and with this card, I don't have to give him the Hunter chemistry style because of the shooting stats that he has. So let's take a look at all the specifics. We're looking at a card that is 6 foot tall with medium work rates, 4-star skill moves, and a 5-star weak foot. So obviously, the fact that he has the 5-star weak foot in the striker position is huge, guys. The 5-star weak foot is absolutely massive in FIFA in regards to you shooting from specific angles and not having to take extra touches on his strong foot or even on the 4-star weak foot, because if he has shot power and finishing for base card stats, he's going to be fantastic. In regards to traits, he does actually have the outside foot shot trait as well, so that's pretty nice when you get those cut inside angles and you want to shoot near post. That's very solid. In regards to his actual stats, he has 88 acceleration with 89 sprint speed, so that is something that you definitely can improve if you want to. He has 95 attacking positioning with 97 finishing and 94 shot power. Long shots not too relevant for me personally. It's all about his shooting ability once I get inside the 18-yard box. Long shots is more relevant for me personally when the player actually has the finesse shot trait, and if they don't have it, I don't really care that much, right? Passing ability, I'm thinking of giving him the engine chemistry style. You guys know how I roll in this game, right? I want to make him as responsive as possible because of the height and body type that he has in game. His shooting stats for base card stats already look very good at 95 acceleration, 97 finishing, and 94 shot power. Passing, we could boost it to a +10 instead of a +5 with the long passing. Not really relevant, but his short passing for base card stats are great, as well as his curve. His shooting presence, as well as his physical and height presence with the 92 composure, will be very noticeable in game. You don't necessarily need to improve that, which is fantastic. But I do want to increase his dribbling even more because his base characteristics are going to transfer over to this card. So we need to make him as responsive as possible in game. And then another great thing about this card is the fact that he actually has the bare minimum that is usable at 88 stamina, but he does have 90 strength as well. So the strength with the body type and height that he has is going to be fantastic. Obviously, I want to use this card as a striker. We're going to be trying him out on just balance instructions, right? So we're going to be using the 4-2-3-1 as we normally do. We'll have Luka Modric playing as a CDM next to Witsel with Ivan Perisic to the left, Gnabry to the right, and Luka Jovic playing up top in the striker position. So normally with the cams, I use them on balance because it's a good way to test out how the card's going to move in game. We are going to keep this card unbalanced. I do remember what I used on the Moments card, but I want to see if this card's going to feel any different, because obviously when you're improved in the shooting aspect, the pace aspect, all of that is very important. I am going to go ahead and buy the engine chemistry style for this card as well, because obviously I want to try him out with the card that I feel like is going to be best used on this card. I'll show you guys what it looks like in regards to dribbling. So his dribbling should essentially be perfect at 99s, but as you guys know, base characteristics always transfer over to these cards. So you can see that people are either deciding to give him an engine chemistry style or a hockey chemistry style. I just personally feel like the Hawk chemistry style, giving him the shooting boost, is not going to be that relevant because his base card stats of 97 and 94 is already good enough. But making the card as responsive as possible, no matter the gameplay that you play in, I feel like is going to be the most important thing. So I kind of like what my boy did with this team. Definitely makes a lot of sense in regards to just some of the chemistry links that he's going to be working with. Hopefully he gets Ferland Mendy, because that card's actually really sick. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead, buy the engine chemistry style, get into a game, and see how he plays. Okay, guys, so we're going to switch to our 4-2-3-1 right away. Let's see how he plays in game. Just note that I have a huge favoritism towards like medium-low and medium work-rated strikers. So I don't know what it is, but they just move really nicely on the pitch. So we'll see if this Jovic card does the same thing for me. So far, he's already coming close to offer his support, which is actually fantastic. I like that. Okay, so if he pushes out wide, he kind of stays there for a while. He doesn't really push back into position that quickly. We'll try a shot with his 5-star weak foot. Obviously going to score that opportunity. The 5-star weak foot is fantastic. The shot power that this card already has, as well as the finishing, is going to allow him to score those opportunities. Now, I am noticing that I may want to just put a stay central on him right away. So we are going to go ahead and try that out to see how he plays with that in game. Because of the type of player that he is, where he has that like really big body type, stay central might be the most ideal thing to give him, because I noticed that when he pushed to the side, he kind of stayed there for a little bit too long. So if we tell him to stay central, because of his body type and because of the physical presence that he has, I think he's going to be better with that instruction. We'll also try target man on him too, because that position right there, normally with target man instructions, those players act that way. They kind of put their body against the defender, so that way you just take that one touch, shoot instantly, you can potentially score it, right? So that's what I want to do, right? I just want to be able to take that small little touch and then instantly turn, right? Because there's a lot of situations where you can't just constantly dribble into certain spaces. You can even see that on the stay central instruction, he actually pushes out wide, which is really, really good, because the stay central instruction is going to force him to get back into position. You see that? So you see how he pushes out wide, but then he goes back into the middle instantly? That's very, very good. Ozymain actually has very similar characteristics, so very good that, that Jovic actually does that. Look, touch, go upwards, you know, stuff like that. Or even go downwards, just depends. Maybe you even want to do the first time fake shot. Because he has the shooting abilities, that's what you need to aim for when it comes to using a card like this. Not always dribbling, not always trying to like get into space in that way. You want to try to just get those little small touches and shoot instantly, right? Dribbling is not too bad. You could tell it's definitely not super responsive like the smaller players are, but it's definitely good enough. So that run right there kind of sucked, right? So on the stay central instruction, you can see that he just continued moving downwards. That's not really what I want the top tier strikers to do. I want them to be able to run downwards, but understand that the space is empty up top. So it kind of sucks that he didn't see that. But again, because of the shot power and the finishing that he has, that's what you have to aim for most of this card. So what I have to try out, actually, because of the fact that he likes to move to the sides constantly, is I want to try him out on the target man instruction instead, because as you can see, his shooting is phenomenal, right? Increasing his dribbling as much as possible, as well as his pace, is going to be the most ideal thing to do for this card. But you kind of have to play him to his characteristics because of how good his shooting actually is, right? The way he's moving around the pitch, it's very interesting because he doesn't stay central that often. He actually moves a lot to the sides, even with the stay central instruction. So it's definitely something that you have to kind of like adjust to a little bit, because he always makes those sideways runs. So because he's doing that, I want to try him out. Let me see, actually. I'm going to put him back. Stay central, target man, false nine, get in behind. Getting behind to the side is going to be pointless. So let me use him on mixed. Drift wide, no, he always does that. He does that by default. Okay, we'll try him out. We'll try him out on balance instructions, and we'll tell these guys to get into the box for the cross. Let's see how he responds to that. He has very similar characteristics to his Moments card, like that running that he likes to constantly do. It's almost as if like you want to increase the pace, because he instantly starts running. You see what I'm saying? Oh, I try to get that 5-star weak foot shot in with Jovic. You kind of I have no remaining pauses because I keep making switches, but at halftime, I'm gonna kind of play more to his play style a little bit. I'm going to actually force the get in behind out of him, because that's what it feels like he wants to do mostly, right? He always wants to make those runs. Maybe a stay central get in behind could be an ideal situation for him, because his finishing is obviously fantastic. But if I do that, I want to see how fast he comes back into position to do that stay central get in behind thing again. So we're going to have to play around with that. I think I remember this correctly, because when I used to use his Moments card too, I noticed that, and that's why the Hunter chemistry style was so good for him, because of the movement that he kept making forward. He always likes to make those aggressive runs, no matter the instructions that you like to give him. So I haven't played with a player like this in a while. He scored 3 goals for me, which is fantastic, because it's not like I'm completely forcing the ball to him. I just want to see what's the best instruction on him. The only thing that I'm noticing with this card is that his base card stats for dribbling, for his characteristics in regards to height and body type, is going to transfer over to this card 100%. You're still going to notice it. But I do want to try him out on the get in behind, stay central, because he just loves to do it. So let's see what's up. Stay central, getting behind. Yeah, there it is. It's got a finesse on his 5-star weak foot. Look at the finishing, man. Look at the finishing. It's funny because, like, after this video, when I'm finished it, I want to check if I put those same instructions on the moments, because I think I remember him being a runner, which is why I had to, like, switch the instructions a little bit with him. I'm really liking him on the stay central, getting behind tactic, because he's not consistently doing it. It's so strange because with this card, when I had him on balance, he was doing it more often, but with the stay central, getting behind, he's actually picking and choosing his runs in way better areas, which is very interesting. See, he stays central, getting behind, he still pushes out wide. So you kind of have to play with that a little bit, you know? But then he'll go right back into the middle like this. Nice. With his 5-star weak foot. Not bad. Coming off of like a little dribble right there, not too bad. That's the angle. There it is. Nice little finish right there. Dude, on stay central, getting behind, that's the one. Sometimes you just have to find the right instruction for the player, the right tactics. I'm loving him on these instructions though. It's this one right here, right? So if I have the ball with Witzel, that's the one, right? I didn't even trigger that. Boom. Maybe a shot across goal from that angle. You know what I mean? Like that's what I aim for with this card. So the stay central, getting behind is definitely working way better for him. Try a 5-star finesse from there. Nice. That 5-star weak foot's huge, bro. Yeah, so with me finding out what instructions I like best on him personally, I'm noticing that the only thing that's a little bit off is that he's obviously not going to dribble that responsively, but it's still good enough with the engine chemistry style because of the shooting presence that he offers in your team, right? That's a ball roll touch angle. There it is. That classic Man City kit is absolutely gorgeous, man. Oh, this guy has, like, no free kick stats. Okay, we'll try out his finishing from here, then. If he ends up getting the ball there. Touch, near post strike. Ooh. He was coming off of, like, a touch right there, so he did, like, a swipe kind of shot, so that's why it wasn't, like, super direct. So because he's a runner, guys, it's actually probably mostly ideal to use him on stay forward as well, just so that he can utilize that characteristic of his more often. There you go, nice little goal right there. Alright guys, so final verdict on the Luka Jovic card is that he's actually pretty solid, but we do have to talk about a few things, right? So, in regards to instructions with this card, I loved using him on stay central, getting behind. I felt like he was playing those instructions really nicely. I felt like he was choosing his runs better, you know, and some players need that. Some players need those forced instructions to make them move around the pitch better, because this is the type of card where on default instructions, he loves to push out wide and get in behind, but that's not exactly how I want him to move, because if he pushes out wide, I need him to instantly go back into the middle. So with the stay central instruction and the get in behind instruction, he was doing that more often. He wasn't doing it as for me personally enough with just the default instruction, stay central, target man, any of those things. You kind of have to see how he wants to move just on the balance instructions, right? So when we were on balance, I realized that's what he was doing. So it was very interesting that when I put those two instructions on him, stay central and get behind, he was playing significantly better. Now, in regards to his dribbling is still not going to feel super responsive because of the fact that his base characteristics with his 6-foot height and stocky body type, that's going to transfer over to this card, regardless of the dribbling boost that you're going to give him. But the great thing about this card is that his shooting stats are already very good. He was scoring very good opportunities with the 94 shot power, 97 finishing, and 92 composure. So I can actually give him the engine chemistry style because the pace boost is required 100% because of his characteristics in game. But it's very interesting because if the dribbling is not that relevant to you, you may just want to give him a Hunter chemistry style because of that aggressive play style that he has in regards to attacking, because of the extra shooting boost that you would give him, but most importantly, the pace that he would also have. I would also advise on putting Stay Forward on this card too, because if you have a card like this on Stay Forward and he keeps making those aggressive runs, you could find yourself scoring some very good counter-attacking opportunities, right? So you can see here that Hunter actually came in second place, right? Which is great because, again, his characteristic of getting in behind the defense constantly was really, really noticeable. So on the stay central, getting behind with the acceleration and sprint speed boost, if the dribbling doesn't bother you and the finishing is essentially perfect, because long shots is not that relevant for me personally, this card is going to be really, really fun to use, right? Is he worth 258k? Only if you play him under the instructions that I told you guys to play him with. Because if you play him on default, he's not the type of striker that just plays great on default, in my opinion. The way that he was moving, I wasn't really a huge fan of it. But on the getting behind, stay central, I got to keep telling you guys this. I really, really enjoyed using him. So for 258k, for an untradeable version of a card that has a 5-star weak foot and the outside foot shot, even though he has the 5-star weak foot and his finesse shots are still pretty decent without the finesse shot trait, I think it's not too bad if you have a bunch of fodder in your team and you didn't put them towards the Prime Icon SBC because the pack weight wasn't that good for those things anyways, right? So he even has a chip shot trait, which is fantastic too. We even scored one chip shot with him as well. I actually wonder if you have the chip shot trait, if the goalie responds a certain way, because when we did the chip shot against the goalie was just like, hey, Jovic has the chip shot trait, we're not even going to react to it, you know? So I enjoyed using the card, but only with those instructions, right? So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I will catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.